it's Melissa. In this video, I am going to show you how to wrap a tumbler with a custom printed vinyl wrap. Now, this is a vinyl wrap that I printed on my BN-20A. If you haven't watched that video yet on how to set this up and print your own vinyl wraps or full sheets of patterned vinyl, make sure you check that out. But today I'm going to show you how you can use custom patterned vinyl as a replacement or instead of, or to cover up a sublimation mistake. So this is a sublimation tumbler that I got a seam down there. I'm not gonna be able to sell it or whatever. So you can save this by doing a vinyl wrap around it. And the ecosolvent ink on your BN-20 is much more scratch resistant, and it's fade proof, so you can use it to wrap. So I'm going to take you down to my workstation where it will be a little bit easier for you to see kind of how I go about wrapping. Okay, so we have our vinyl design here, and I obviously have my tumbler. So the first thing that you want to do is get rid of the white edges. So you can cut this or you can use a vinyl trimmer. I'm going to attempt to use my vinyl trimmer. I have I broke this one, so we're gonna hopefully it'll be okay to use here. Let's see. So I'm just gonna try to trim right along the edge of this. Now I do have a cut line there. I cut around the edge of this with the Roland, as you can see. So this is just weeding away. But I need to pull off, I need to get the backing trimmed down to the right size as well. So that's what I'm really cutting here with. So now what I have is this full sheet of vinyl on the backing. All right, so what I'm gonna do is you're gonna take your tumbler and you're going to put it up on the table. Now you see how I have excess here. We don't want that, okay? So I need to trim off a little bit more because I don't want this excess, because I don't wanna have to fold it. So you can either trim obviously from the top or the bottom, or maybe a little bit of each. So let's just see kind of how this goes here. Line there. Okay, so now I should have, yep, my tumbler is pretty much going to completely wrap around, and that's exactly what we want. Okay, now you can, like I said, you can laminate this if you want. You can, if you're gonna do that, I would do it before you wrap around. I'm not going to laminate for this one. All right, so what we wanna do, I like to peel the backing off, and but only about a ½ an inch or so. All right, so I'm using a weeding tool, and what I'm gonna do, get that off of there a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna peel that apart, and then I'm gonna peel, not the whole thing, obviously. I just want about a ½ an inch or so that I can pull the backing down and fold down, okay? So this is how I wrap my tumblers. All right, and then you obviously, for this one, we want to make sure that it's not upside down, okay? Because we have the design is has text on it, so it definitely needs to be, we need to be careful. All right, so we're going to start. This is why I use a paper trimmer, because you want the bottom of your paper, which is actually the top, the bottom of your vinyl, to be using your tabletop to keep it straight. And we have put that one little spot is going to act basically as a hinge, okay? So we're gonna press that down really well, and then we will slowly pull this away. Now, I like to continue to keep it on the table so that I can slowly continue to wrap it, making sure that the vinyl stays even with the table, okay? And just pull very, very slowly and wrap tightly as you go. You can see that how the paper is kind of coming off, the backing is kind of coming off with it, okay? Working out any little bubbles. you are going for a very slight seam. Now, this worked out really well because you can see that this design is very, very specific as far as the seam, and it worked out perfectly because we used this method where we kept it along the table to keep it straight. All right, now you're gonna go back and just really burnish it on there, making sure to get out any little wrinkles or bubbles. And it's the more that you can make sure that it's pretty much completely the exact width and length of the tumbler itself, you'll have fewer wrinkles, you'll have fewer bubbles, you'll have fewer little problems at the bottom. The top will be perfect, right? You don't want to you want that top to be pretty much clear. You don't want anything to go over top. You can see down here I have very, very little that's wrapping around the bottom, and I do have a little bubble there that you're just going to keep working out. Usually the bubbles will come out if you just keep pressing. Push them towards the seam or the top and the bottom, and you can work them out. All right, and that is how I wrap my tumblers. Now, you can go forward and epoxy this. As I said, you can put another wrap over top. You don't have to, but it does give you a nice shine. It gives you another layer of protection, and a lot of people like to do that.